this evening are Nicholas DeSanto and Cressida Wetton. How are you guys, Cressida?
Very good, yeah, you?
Yeah, good, thanks for the bands.
Good to be back.
Good to be back, yeah.
It's too early for the bands, isn't it?
No, but you go straight into bands. What do you want to say,
okay.
bands?
No, nothing.
Nothing, okay. Good bands, guys.
Glad to be invited.
Let's get our bands from our audience. Our first question is from Anton.
Have the British public had enough of the BBC?
Oh my gosh, Anton, you're just coming in so strong there. Have the British public had enough of the BBC? The BBC lost over £1 billion last year as licence fee evasion and cancellations surged, with 3.6 million households now claiming they don't need a licence. Enforcement visits rose sharply but proved less effective, prompting MPs to warn that the BBC's funding model is no longer working. The crisis comes amid scrutiny over BBC buyers and growing political pressure to reform or replace the licence fee entirely. So, Cressida, you were saying how you don't pay your licence, you don't care, they visit you every day.
Just don't open the door, yeah. That's, I'm amazed that as many people do still pay it as do. If only, was it 3.6 million? Yeah, that leaves most people paying. Isn't that amazing? But I think that's going to plummet with all the bad press lately. And people, yeah, I do think people have largely had enough, increasingly.
That's £1 billion. That's sort of, that pays for the three of us.
Well, you started with Cressida. It puts me in an awkward position because now, to be impartial, I have to defend the BBC. And don't you know that the BBC have a lot of good responsibilities, even external new responsibilities, because it's not the funny part yet, all right? You know, Arabic is one of the 5 official languages of the UN, so they have to produce all documents in Arabic. But because of Donald Trump's funding cuts, now the United Nations Council of Human Rights said, hey, we cannot have a website in Arabic anymore. So please, to learn about our positions, refer to www.hamas.org. And then Hamas said, our infrastructure is down. We don't have a website anymore. Please refer to BBC Arabic for our latest positions. So all this means if we totally get rid of the BBC, who is going to do all that good work?
OK, yeah, fair enough. And really, we are duty-bound as the British people to pay for that.
Obviously,
so nice.
Yeah. I was being the devil's advocate, obviously.
Oh, no, I got it. Our next question is from Jeff.
Hi, Josh. Where can you watch a documentary about free speech if it gets cancelled?
Yeah, so where can you watch a documentary about free speech if it's get cancelled? This is a London cinema, Rich Mix, cancelled the screening of Think Before You Post, a documentary on free speech, citing misalignment with its values. The film, produced by Spike magazine, features cases of alleged censorship and police action against individuals for online posts. Creators condemned the ban as ironic, insisting the film's message on free speech remains crucial, and plan to reschedule the event. Well, there is something ironic here, isn't there, about a free speech documentary getting cancelled?
Well, it's just a sign of the crazy times you live in, isn't it?
Absolutely. But do you think that the venue has the right to cancel the documentary?
No, not
Oh,
at
you
all.
don't?
No.
OK. I think I'd have to differ with you there, only in that it's a private enterprise. They can show whichever films. Well, what do you think, Cressida? Do you think that they have the right to do it, but of course we then have the right to think, well, that's not where I want to spend my money?
Yes, that's all true. And if people are watching at home don't know Rich Mix, because why would you? It's in the hipstery part of London where man buns are compulsory and you have to have the right opinions to get in. And when I heard it was being...
They sell Pick-a-Mix.
I wouldn't know, I don't know. No, but when I heard it was at the Rich Mix, I thought, oh my God, that's fantastic. We're making progress. It's going to be shown in East London where all the cool kids hang out, the ones that hate free speech. But of course, my hopes were dashed and now they've cancelled it once they found out what it actually is, which is really disappointing, but also not surprising. So good luck to the people at Spike for getting it put somewhere else.
Yeah, I've seen the documentary. It's fantastic. There was also something else where, when it first went out, I think on X, it was also limited. You couldn't see it supposedly because of age restrictions, even though it doesn't actually say anything.
It was already available online, and that's as much as said by Spike as well. But I knew this is Free Speech Nation. Obviously, this was coming up, so I took the liberty of contacting Rich Mix venue myself to get their side of the story. I'm being very BBC-like impartial this week. So they said, we are committed to free speech, but we are even more committed to irony. So that's their side reported.
Fair enough. Do you think that they have the right to cancel the documentary?
Well,
show it if they feel like it doesn't, because if they're saying it doesn't fit with our values, then obviously what they're literally saying is free speech isn't one of our values.
Exactly. I mean, I'm always surprised. I had a show, a comedy show with my friend Luke McDonald, cancelled last month in Birmingham, and they had the same explanation. They said this does not align with the values of our venue. I didn't know venues had values, you know. Right? I thought it was just a building for. But anyway. As a private enterprise, they are free to cancel as they have, but then, of course, they have to face the consequences, the inferences that we make that, okay, if you have a problem with a documentary, a legal documentary about free speech, then what does that say about the values of your building?
Yeah, well, it's a real shame because if anybody could do with watching this documentary is people in East London.
I love the idea that they would have bought tickets not really known and then just been shocked when they saw
This is
it.
about free speech.
It's really not that shocking. I've watched it. It's fantastic.
I'm gutted because it's just across from the bagel place. So anyway, our next question is from Ryan.
Hello all. Should academics be suspended for even discussing the N-word?
Yes, should academics be suspended for even discussing the N-word? A UK university suspended classics professor after he used the N-word during a staff meeting, citing potential risk to colleagues. The professor says he quoted the word from the Oxford English Dictionary to illustrate historical and contextual meanings, not to offend. The case tests the government's new campus free speech rules, highlighting tensions between academic freedom and sensitivity. So, Ryan, you were saying the N-word a lot before the show.
I wasn't, Mum, honest.
But do you think that, I mean, this is something going on here, because this is actually not in front of students at all, and this was used in defence of somebody else's free speech rights? I don't know if you heard about this story in that way.
I mean, just generally, it should be no word should be off limits, dependent on context of how they're used.
Yes.
Because if you start saying, you know, certain words in the English language can't be used, where do you stop? Because there's going to be people that object to all manner of words, and then it's going to be a slippery slope of saying less and less and less and less. So I think we need to make a stand early.
I can tell you've been in the audience of Free Speech Nation before. But this is it, Krista, because it's all about... we're comics, we're always doing jokes, and then it's all about getting in trouble with the jokes. You're having to point out it's context. Now, in the context here, he was specifically using this word to illustrate the point of context. And
Absolutely.
then that's what's got him suspended.
Ryan's exactly right. I remember seeing Daniel Kitson once saying that language changes and something becomes problematic, and then we change it for something else, and then that becomes problematic. And he said if you put you effing in front of anything, it can be problematic. So what was said around this? Well, we know it was a conversation about free speech. I mean, it was in academia. I don't have a recording of what was said, but I highly doubt that any of the staff there were really made to feel unsafe. That's another word, isn't it? That's got a creeping definition. What do we mean by unsafe?
And that's why he's been suspended, by the way, is because it's for the safety of
the safety of everyone else. And it wasn't immediate. He didn't find out immediately that he'd offended somebody. Nobody spoke to him face to face. This went on in the background, and then he was kind of disciplined later. It's really pathetic, in my opinion.
Yeah. You're maybe the one person who I genuinely have to say don't say the N-word.
You mean Nicholas DeSanto?
Oh, yeah.
That is offensive.
But again, context, and he was obviously very clear about using this word. I believe he was defending someone using the B word. I don't even know if I can say.
Yeah, I don't know. The B word was in the Telegraph, so probably we are safe.
I don't know. You know, B-I-T.
So
some other stuff.
So this is genuinely a funny story. Yeah. So Manchester University.
No, don't say the university.
Oh.
No, I'm joking.
The U word.
But don't. Now we're going to have to say Manchester University.
Oh, yeah, the filthy.
Don't say his name.
No, I don't remember his name, but the first one, because one professor had used the biatch word, right? And some students were biatching about the biatch word, and he is suspended. So there's a disciplinary. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to,
very well disguised.
for Ofcom
no
purposes.
One would understand what
So I'm playing along, right? So this professor for the B word is in trouble in the disciplinary session.
Gets in a linguist.
The linguist, he's a philologist.
I'm sorry for the B word.
Professor Poorman says, guys, words change, context matters. For example, even the N-word is now in the dictionary, in the Oxford.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, he is probably suspended. So when does this stop?
Well,
next,
I think so.
their union rep comes and says, I'm here to defend the guy who said B-word and the guy who said N-word. Oh, no, you are suspended too. It's impossible to deal with these
All
people.
of academia is going to be kicked out at the end. It's very troubling, yes. Right, our final question for the moment is from Roger.
Hello. Do you ask your baby's permission when changing the nappy?
Oh my God, this is. If you hadn't said it so creepily, Roger.
He redeemed the N-word
Maybe it's a
guy.
nickname for me. Do you ask your baby permission when changing a nappy? So, Australian researchers advise parents to seek the baby's consent during diaper changes to teach body autonomy from an early age. The approach involves narrating actions, observing reactions, and using correct anatomical terms, even though infants cannot verbally respond. Experts say this gentle, symbolic practice helps establish boundaries and awareness of consent for future child development. Roger, have you ever changed a nappy?
His.
You've changed right.
No, I haven't. I don't want to either.
You don't want to?
No.
Well, I've changed nappies for about 10 years now. Continuous change. I stopped about 2 years ago, finally. It was just one child. But the idea that you're meant to kind of talk to kids through it. Have you ever changed a nappy?
I haven't, no.
Yeah. It's
Sounds great.
It's not a pleasant experience, it should be said. But this is ironically the nanny state?
Good one.
I think what they're describing is just parenting, isn't it? Don't be horrible to a kid. Don't, do it appropriately.
Yeah.
And in terms of consent, I don't think nappy changes are really the biggest problem facing children in the West, are they, at the moment? I think other things have happened in terms of gender ideology.
Also, could you get off your TikTok for a second while I change your nappy to your 1-year-old?
Yeah, I don't completely disagree. Change nappies nicely, of course, but you're not going to get consent from a 9-month-old.
You've got kids. I mean, I don't know about you, but I just swear at my kids like, oh my God, that's disgusting! What have you done to me?
Well, I have changed nappies, and I think this is proper. This research and the findings is proper new age poo-poo. I told my kids I would say poo-poo on TV tonight, and I have.
And you said it.
I have fulfilled that promise. So the idea is consent from an early age, but obviously it's exaggerated. And then again, if they have so much regard for kids' consent and body autonomy and all that, how about when transitioning them or when jabbing them with kind of dodgy vaccines? Can I say that on Free Speech Nation? So yeah, obviously you talk to your kids, you try to raise some awareness, but this is proper, out of
I think
out of
that
line.
maybe the solution is just to get them to change their own nappies. That's what I'm going to work on. Right, next on Free Speech Nation, hundreds of children, some just 10, are set to receive puberty blockers in an NHS-backed study. Researchers say it's safe and monitored, but critics warn of serious risks to fertility and development. See you in 2 minutes.